I enjoyed it. It was definitely, like I said, this was my first year going. Last year I was supposed to go, just couldn't make it. But this year it was really cool to see the different people. My thing was, I love to see the community come out. I think it was amazing to just see a huge community of people wanting to do similar things, or people that have already done what you want to do, and just being under one roof and giving out so much game and just being able to network, bro. It was different, and it was amazing to be a part of it. I'll say that.
Okay, I feel you on that. Definitely seeing the community come out was crazy, and not just, you know, the community as in Atlanta.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves
and apply it to the community.
Let's grow.
Hey, mama.
Back for another one. Up in the building again, my friend. What's good?
Another day, another dollar.
You already know. Wait, are we getting another dollar for this?
Well, I mean, it ain't got to be a dollar from this. It could be just another dollar.
You know what? That's a fact, man. I like that you pointed that out. Speaking of, you know, pointing stuff out, we're doing something a little different today. For those of you guys who are watching us on YouTube or watching us on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is that you're watching us from, you can already see that something's going on a little bit differently with the camera angles. Why is that, Mike?
Well, we just saved a lot of money on our car insurance by switching to Geico, which allowed us to be able to record like this. So,
all right. The real reason why, Mike.
Oh, man. So, actually, we decided to go with Aflac because Geico wasn't really working out a lot. So,
okay. All right. Never mind. I can't rely on you to be serious because what the heck?
All right. For real. I got him. But sometimes if you go with Fidelity, they're actually not as bad.
All right. I'm about to mute his mic because I don't know what he's talking about. The real reason why we decided to do something a little different with the cameras and the camera angles is mostly because of the editing process. It takes us so long to edit an episode because we got to switch camera angles, you know, back and forth between my view, his view, and then if we have a guest, man, it's even more difficult. Oh, you said something? Hold on. I got you. You going to be serious this time? All right.
Mic check. We back in the booth. All right, I'm here, y'all. I'm sorry about that delay. The reason why we have the cameras right here is because we wanted to try something different.
I just said all of that.
You know, we've been doing this for some time, and you know, sometimes going with the back and forth, maybe even having another guest like that. You know, it's a lot of editing. So,
all right. So whoever edits this episode, which is most likely going to be me, I'm probably going to cut that part out. But even if I don't cut it out,
you know, I said like,
hey, we already know who calls the shots around here, who does whatever it is.
We're gonna say God, okay? God.
I mean, of course, but other than God, who He ordained to run this podcast, because it definitely wasn't you.
Our mamas,
our mamas don't run this podcast.
I bet you won't say that in her face.
I'll say that to her face. I'll say, look, my mom knows she don't run this podcast. This is my show, not hers.
Oh man, hey mama.
Anyway, it's been a lot going on. I know we haven't been here to record in a little bit of time. Yeah. Quite a bit has changed. So before we get into all of that, y'all already know, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the movement. You know, it's more than just watching us, and it's more than just listening to us on the podcast platform. So subscribe to the movement because we're everywhere, man.
For real.
What do you want to add to that?
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of something, if I wanted to add something or if I just wanted to kind of go on into it, because I didn't want to make that part too drawn out.
Yeah, I feel you. Because, I mean, at this point, I mean, we 80 plus episodes in. I mean, if they don't know by now that they should subscribe to the movement.
I mean, then you're sleeping under a rock or something.
You got to be, because what are you doing?
Come on now, get in with us now before it's, I ain't going to say it's too late because it ain't going to never be too late.
Nah, never going to be too late. But you already know the price is going to go up.
I'm just saying.
You never know. I mean, shoot, we might eventually end up with our own platforms where you got to pay to watch us.
Gotta pay to play.
Gotta pay to play. So get it now while it's affordable.
Get it while the getting's good.
Exactly. I mean, it's always going to be good.
You're right.
You know,
get it while it's good before it gets great. Oh,
I can rock with that. You know what I mean? That's the key. I can rock with that.
Yeah.
But hey, for sure, subscribe to the movement. Y'all already know. We greatly appreciate each and every single one of y'all for watching, for tapping in. You know, without y'all, we would just be talking to ourselves. For real. Pretty much. So thank you.
Please, if you have time, take the time to leave a review. We just want to read what y'all think about us and what we can do a little better, or maybe stop doing, or maybe add. You know what I mean? Like, I think those reviews, they do a lot more than what you think. Although, you ever looked at a review sometimes and it be all good reviews, and then you see that one bad review, and that one bad review will make you think that the whole thing is bad?
Yeah, because it outweighs all those good reviews, which is crazy. Weird, but it is. Yeah, it's very crazy.
You can have one literal bad review and just 12 other good reviews. That's, you know, I don't know.
For some reason, that's just how the world works. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But hey, I mean, that one bad review, like, I guess people probably look at it as all the good reviews. They might see it as fluff. And that one bad review, they probably see it as like, oh, that's the only person that's being real. Honest. That's the real.
Man.
That's the only person being honest.
Okay. Well, I guess we do want y'all to be honest, but if you can, please leave us a 5-star review with a great review message behind it, just so we can know. But like I said, I like honesty too. Just try not to do it as 1 star, okay? Because they gonna look at that first. You know, a lot of people they go to that 1 star first. They ain't gonna click on the 5. They like, let me see what somebody said wrong.
Right.
So
yeah.
But no, we appreciate each and every person that just stopped by, just even looking at us, or just even has reposted, said anything about us. Man, I promise y'all, it does not go unnoticed. So thank you. Thank you
for real, because again, I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, like, we would just be talking to ourselves.
That's a fact.
But anyway, let's get into the show, my brother. What we got going on today?
Man, it's another one. It's another great week. Well, first and foremost, let's not do it again. So
all right, you're right. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves
before we even get into it. You know,
that's true.
Saying? B, how was your week, bro?
We're going to get into the first segment of the day, which is the brief week. So, yes, Mike, my week, man, full of work, which was great. You know, it was cool. Getting paid is always a good thing. I'm able to pay my bills, have some money left over.
Amen.
You know what I mean? That's always a good thing.
It's a blessing, bro.
It is a blessing. You know, I don't want to harp on it too much, but maybe somebody needs to hear it this week that didn't hear it the last week, or the week before that. I was unemployed for quite some time last year. So, you know, 2023, I definitely hit a rough patch to where I fell behind on a bunch of things, man, because I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
I didn't have any steady income.
Yeah.
So now that I do have some steady income, I am grateful for it. I try my hardest not to complain, because, hey, complaining ain't going to get me nowhere. Last year, I couldn't complain about having a job because I didn't have one for quite some time. So, you know, it's always good to be able to say, yo, I got some income coming in.
Let's give a hand clap for that, bro. For real.
Yeah, for real, man.
Don't pass that, bro. That's major.
It is major. And I know that there's some people out there that know what it is that I'm talking about. Some people out there that might be struggling, you know, don't know how they're going to make ends meet, don't know how, you know, they're going to be able to pay certain bills, don't know where that money is going to come from. You know, whether it is that you doing Uber Eats or you know, DoorDash or whatever the case may be. And none of those companies are sponsoring us. But, you know, listen, those are a few things that I had to do last year to get some money.
Yeah.
You know, when I didn't have any steady income, I had to just hop in the car and do food deliveries to get some bread up. And then, you know what I'm saying, I had to donate plasma every once in a while to get some bread up. You know what I'm saying? Poking needles in my arm and stuff like that. Just
I thought about that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought about that before.
So, you know what I'm saying? I was just doing anything and everything that I could, you know, between that and just, you know, selling some stuff online, you know, on eBay or, you know, whatever the case may be, just to try to make a little extra bread so I could pay my bills. Like, you know, now I want to say that it's like a season of abundance, because not only am I getting paid, I'm getting paid more than I've, you know, been getting paid for a while. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, I got a little bit, you know, to splurge here and there, but I also got a little bit to put away and save for certain things that I want to take care of. So, you know, let's give another hand clap for that, you know, because it's a blessing. But I know I've talked a lot about that, and that was my week in a nutshell. Other than something that we're gonna dive into a little bit later in the show, which is the second annual Black Effect Podcast Festival that we just attended. So we're gonna touch on that a little bit later. So I ain't gonna get too deep into that. But I also did that this past week or maybe a week and a half ago or so.
For sure, bro. It's kind of funny. I know you about to ask me about my week. This is gonna kind of segue into it, though.
Of course.
But it's funny now I think about it. Be the fact that both of us have experienced unemployment, and I think that's like, I don't think that nothing just happens by mistake. So I feel like throughout, just not having, that income that we we're used to, or just having money as accessible as we were having before, and just having going through like a dry season is gonna make us appreciate when that real money come in.
You know what? It's crazy that you mentioned that, because man, I know that you're going through something as well. Before we get too deep into that, how was your week, man?
The week is good still. The week has been good. I can say it's still a lot of figuring things out, but at the same time, I've gotten clarity. I pray still. I still have faith, and no matter what, I learn that God provides every single day. That's what I do know. Like, even when you don't think you ain't got nothing, I promise you got more than what you think.
For sure.
And every single day, if you can just keep your mind on just, what's next? Like, what can I do next? It's like a way it was always made to keep going and to never stop. So honestly, bro, I'm really good, bro. And like I was just saying, that's where I'm at. I'm at a place where it's like, okay, I feel like God's like, get really good at just what you got. Get good with the amount that you have. Don't worry about having this huge number, but get good with whatever amount that you have, because that is how you're gonna treat that bigger amount. So I've been just making sure that my heart is open. I'll still give anytime I have the opportunity. I'll still try to help, or like I still try to just don't complain and just make the most of what I got. And I think that's something big, man.
So what you're saying is,
what's up?
Lunch was on you today, right?
Whoa, player. Wait a minute.
I
mean, technically, if you didn't send that money, technically, if you just wanted to run off on me, you could. I couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? I couldn't even. You done enjoy the food. I can't do nothing.
Hey, but listen, I ain't gonna run off for you just because you bought lunch and I'm not gonna pay you back. Like, oh, it's time to get away. Like, nah, we were coming here to record, bro. We got a business to run.
Nah, for real though, bro. Like, eventually, bro. Honestly, it's gonna get to the point where the business is sponsoring the lunch. Like,
hey, yo,
you know what I mean?
You know what? You got a point.
You're gonna have people that they're gonna want to reach out to give us food just so that we can talk about them on the show, or you know what I'm saying? We'll have enough to where the business will pay for everything that we need.
Listen, I wish today's lunch was sponsored by these people. I probably showed the logo when I showed my cup.
You did? Yeah, I actually had mine. I had to move a little bit to the side.
I had to turn mine around a little bit.
They probably know.
People probably know what it is, though, just by looking at the cups. Yeah, though. They've been to this restaurant before, but I ain't going to say no names because they ain't sponsoring us. They ain't cutting us a check. The food was good, though. I'm not going to lie.
It wasn't bad. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Last time I went, though, I think I have went one time a long time ago out of town, and I got what they wasn't known for, and it wasn't good. You know what I mean? It's like going to Chick-fil-A asking for a burger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? There are some Chick-fil-A's that do, I want to say they do carry burgers, or they do carry like sausage patties or something like that for some of their sandwiches.
But let's be real. Who going to Chick-fil-A think about that?
I don't know, but we talking too much about, that company that's not paying us.
I'm sorry.
Which, by the way, that's not what we had for lunch. So.
Big Filet. My bad. The restaurant name. Big Filet.
Hey, people still gonna know what it is you're talking about. So, hey, if they are not sponsoring us, I don't want to say their name anymore.
I'm sorry.
But either way, I'm glad that you had a good week and you came to that realization, my brother, because, we got a lot ahead of us, man. And I really can't wait to see what the future has in store for us, because I already know, like, listen, the way that we are going through what it is that we're going through, or the way that we've been through what it is that we've been through, it's only up from here, for real. Like, it's gotta be. It's only up from here, because I don't see anything worse happening. And even, I'm not even going to speak that, but I just don't see anything worse happening to us. I only see it getting better, because I feel like we've gotten to a place to where, we've hit a low.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So yeah, let's just keep it moving up so that we don't have to experience anything worse than what we've already experienced.
Oh, for sure. I could definitely say, I'm pretty much. They say the bottom. I can almost say I pretty much have touched. My toe at least has scraped the bottom. My hands might have not hit the bottom, but my toe has definitely scraped the bottom. So I understand what it feels like to not have nothing, but to really, you still have something. And that's what I think the beautiful part about being where I'm at is it's showing me that no matter how much money you think you have or don't have, I promise you have more than what you think. And God never leaves you with nothing. So I needed to go through this. You know, I don't know about you, B, but part of me, I actually needed to go through this. I might not have wanted to, but I needed this. So
I feel that.
you know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
We here.
We are. So with that being said, man, now we're going to get into the next segment, which is, now that we have a name for it, drum roll, please.
JaMichael's 3-point play. In the building. Got sports, son. Watch out, Sports Center. We in the building.
Hey, real quick though.
What's up?
Who came up with that segment title?
I'm not gonna hold you. That was you on the spot. Right?
Let's go.
That was actually really cold. I was
Let's go.
That was stuck. It's just like some names, you know, it's just like, wait, hold on. What'd you just say? And yeah, B definitely came up with that one. So
I try, man. You know what? I don't try. It's just natural. It comes natural.
At this point, honestly, it really is. Because, bro, they're all our titles, bro. Like, this man just come up out of nowhere. So, like, that's a fact, bro. That's a gift.
JaMichael's 3-point play, man. So, hey, what we got for the 3-point play? What 3 points you want to talk about today, man?
Oh, man. So, man, the first 3-point play, you know, we're going to talk about this. And I love this one. He ain't going to like
Of course
this one.
you do.
We just get it over with. Sorry. You know. The Knicks, y'all. Bruh. The Knicks are like, to me, they like the Dallas Cowboys of the year. They're America's team, but it's never go nowhere. But now I'm just so proud of them this year for just making it as far as they did and just doing what we expected them to do. You know what I'm saying? They got whipped out by the Pacers. The Pacers, definitely, they were down. You know, the Knicks had a chance. It was looking good.
The Knicks had a chance, man. They were up,
Bruh.
you know, 3-2 at one point, you know, in the series, and then ended up getting 3-3, and the next thing you know,
dude,
4-3. So,
man, I'm not gonna lie to you though. I would have wanted to be in New York around the time because like y'all love them, and the city was going crazy for them, man.
But you know, I will say that I'd much rather see them, you know, go out the way that they did versus beating the Pacers and then moving to the next round.
Yeah.
And, you know, going up against the number one team, which I look forward to seeing what happens with the Pacers. And I'm putting my stamp on this, man. I hope, because I hate the Pacers. I'm just going to say it. I've disliked them since the 90s when Reggie Miller was playing on the team because we already know anytime the Knicks usually go up against the Pacers, the Knicks typically lose. But I'm going to say this on record, yo. I hope, because of what the Pacers did to the Knicks, I hope that they get swept in the next round up against Boston. Wow. I hope they get swept. I've already tweeted it. You know, I've been talking about this in a group chat that I'm in with a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? I want to put money on it, but again, I'm not much of a gambling man. But I hope they sweep them.
I mean, we ain't saying all that, but you know,
look,
who knows?
Boston is the number one team in the Eastern Division right now. Like the previous season, they were the number one team.
I do agree. Yeah.
So listen,
I got them winning the whole thing.
You got Boston winning the whole thing?
I think Boston can win the whole thing, bro.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
I feel like they strong enough, but we don't know yet.
Let's see what happens. I will give them, you know, respect. Like I kind of missed that Boston team when Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, even when they had Shaq on the squad with them. You know what I mean? Like that was a decent team.
It was all right. I really wasn't a fan when they had Shaq.
Well, I get it because that was more so towards the end of his career, but definitely when they had Pierce, Rondo, and Garnett,
they changed the league.
They were a powerhouse.
They changed the league
under the leadership of Doc Rivers. Come on now.
Yep. They made the whole league have to start to get like really like big name people together. Yeah, they started that. So yeah, most definitely, bro. But no, I give my hats off to the Knicks, bro. I think one of the only reasons y'all lost is because y'all point guy got hurt.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, man, he got injured.
Yeah. Left hand, and I want to say he's left-handed.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. That was trash, man. And I didn't like that at all, and I knew once he got hurt, it was over.
Yeah.
I knew it, man, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, Kudos to them boys. Shout out to y'all for going as far as you did. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put a hand clap on that, even though if Mike was controlling the board, he wouldn't do it.
Did okay. No
Hey, but shout out to them boys, man. Y'all made me proud.
Yeah.
I just wish y'all could have beat the Pacers and kind of broke that curse.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I know you don't really care for baseball, but it's kind of like the Bambino curse when Babe Ruth used to play for the Yankees. And, every time the Yankees went up against the Boston Red Sox could not touch the Yankees. Boston would lose to New York all the time. And then eventually, almost a century later, if not a century later, the Red Sox finally beat the Yankees. But it was called the Bambino curse.
I know it was a Bambino was he a player on the team?
Yeah, Bambino was Babe Ruth.
Oh, he's Babe Ruth. Okay.
Yeah, it was the Bambino curse. So
okay.
that's typically what Pacers and the Knicks remind me of. It's just like that curse where when the Knicks go up against the Pacers, especially in the playoffs, they don't win.
Yeah. And at this point, it's probably a big mental battle too, just getting into the playoffs as far as for the Knicks. But this year, definitely, I'm hoping was like some type of push because they got over a hump that they have been struggling to get through, over the years. So
for sure,
I think that it's improvement. Speaking of baseball, though, I've learned I got a lot more respect for baseball players, bro. Dude, I didn't realize how. You got to have like a strength about you to be able to realize a ball is being thrown at you over 100 miles per hour. Somebody was talking about that. Like, they was like, baseball is not like a sport for the weak.
No, not at all, man. Listen, like the last baseball game I went to was my first date with my girlfriend. I took her to a Braves game. And you can, like, anytime the pitcher threw the ball, you always have a display in the field where it shows how fast that ball is being thrown. Mm-hmm. Now, I've never personally seen it get up to 100 miles per hour, but I'm sure it's been done. For the most part, it's usually like 80-something miles per hour or 90-something miles per hour. And to stand there as a batter.
Oh, my God.
And a ball is being thrown at you 80 to 90 miles per hour.
Oh, my God.
And you got to swing at that thing. First of all, the batter can get hit. And I've seen people up to bat, and they've gotten hit with those balls. And even when the batter hits the ball, I've seen times where the batter hits the ball and it goes flying towards the pitcher. It goes flying back towards the pitcher.
Yeah.
And the pitcher has to either move or get hit.
Yep.
It's like, yo, are you serious?
Bro.
You never know, bro. Like that's crazy, man. To have a ball flying at you. And it's not even a soft ball.
Yeah.
Like that thing is hard. Yeah. Pause. It's like if it hits you, you're definitely gonna get bruised.
They were saying the stat was like any sport to where because if you hit if you bat for like 300, you're almost in the Hall of Fame of baseball. There was like any sport where you can hit I think it was like 30% or something like that of the amount of attempts that you get. That's got to be a hard sport. Mm-hmm. So like that's nuts, bro. You don't really think about that, but I got a lot of respect for baseball players now, man, and it makes sense why they get paid so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that. Shout out to all the baseball players out there.
For real. Shout out to y'all, man. Can't wait to go to some Braves games this season. Hopefully I can make one or two.
Just make the games more exciting, please. That's all I need.
Hey, I will say, in all honesty, man, in my personal opinion, watching baseball games in person is much more exciting than watching it on TV.
Yeah, for sure. But y'all, you just drinking. I mean, you drinking and you waiting for the next play to play. That's what I don't understand. I don't get about baseball. It's not enough motion happening.
I mean, there's a lot of motion, yo. You just not really into the sport enough to really appreciate it. I will say, hey, listen, it's like playing golf. Golf is a boring sport, but it's one of the most televised, one of the most watched, one of the most enjoyed sports, and it's a rich man sport. Yeah. There's a lot of patience. There's a lot of silence involved in that sport, but people tune into it. They watch it.
They do.
And of course, it's much, like I said, with baseball, it's the same thing. It's much better to go watch somebody, play golf in person versus watching it on TV. And of course, it's much better when you're swinging at a golf ball yourself versus sitting on the sidelines and watching somebody do it.
And that is true. That is very true. I can understand that because I like golf, and I can agree that a lot of people think golf is boring.
See, golf is boring as hell, but I mean, it just depends on who you watching. Like Tiger, of course, you know, the best to ever do it. I remember one time I watched a video with Steph Curry. He was golfing, and he hit a hole in one.
Mm-hmm.
A hole in one.
Yep.
It's like, dang. I mean, you shooting threes on the court, and then you get to the golf course, and you swing. You hit the ball from, I don't even know how far away it was, but it's not like it was close.
It was far.
It was far. And he got it on the first shot.
I think they just need the way they shoot golf. It needs to be a little different, and maybe some of the commentary around it. You know, I seen Tom Brady do some of the same. He did one of the same thing, hit a hole in one, but they followed the ball with a drone as he hit it. You know what I mean? Just something with different angles I think could help. Or, you know, I don't know if you're watching on Instagram, it's some guys that call it hood golf. I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. Like the way they talk, of course.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I've never heard about it.
And you know I ain't lying when I say I'm crossing the water, cause that bitch flying. Okay. I got my 5 iron, got my 5 stick, and I'm really bought that shit.
Why you snapping like that, Jit? Get there. Oh, he on the line right there.
Get out there. On the green, nigga. Let me do my yin, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga. Yo. Look at this shit. This shit so crazy. Barely made it. And I'm finna chip it. I might chip it in. Not playing. For the bird. For the bird. Get up, yo. Get up, yo. Ah, that bit was smooth, that bit was cool, almost in there. Little long, little far, for the par, but I'm a star, nigga. But I'm a star, nigga. Yes, sir, ski. For the little par ski, little star ski.
Bro, it makes you want to play golf, but their lingo is just like they straight out of Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie to you, like they straight out of Bankhead somewhere down there. You know what I mean? But it's entertaining. But you know, to each his own.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out, man.
Yeah, man. But you know, I think as far as the 3-point play this week, you know, we just want to talk about them sorry Knicks. Excuse me, it just came out. I don't even know where that came from.
Hey yo. If anybody's a Knicks hater, man, it's definitely going to be this guy. Like, he is the biggest Knicks hater that I know. First of all, who is your team?
Well, actually, I don't really have a team.
You can't even establish a team because you don't even.
My favorite player is not here.
Who's your favorite player?
Well, it was Dwayne Wade when he was in the league, and then it was Allen Iverson. But you know, they left. They're not here no more. So I really don't have a favorite player. If I had to choose right now, I can say it'll probably be Kyrie Irving. And
where did his team go?
Well, they fighting, you know. So we ain't talk about them, but Kyrie Irving, you know, they still fighting right now, and right. they're still doing pretty well. So they're still in it. So you got to give them credit.
I give him credit. I give the team credit. However, you can't even choose a team, so you ain't got no room to talk.
You're right. I'm just a hater.
You a hater and a bandwagoner because hey, my favorite player was Allen Iverson, and my favorite player was Dwayne Wade.
It was Dwayne Wade.
So if Dwayne Wade jumped from Miami Heat, if he went over to LA Lakers, like the Lakers is my team now because
I gotta go with the Lakers.
That's bandwagon. That is the definition of bandwagon.
Gotta go with them.
You are a bandwagon fan.
I'm sorry. I mean,
how dare you have a sports corner on this platform that I even gave a title to, and you a bandwagon fan.
So wait, so you telling me if a player gets traded, then they're bandwagon because they go to another team?
No, the player gets traded because that's just the name of the game. But for you to jump from team to team just because of one person, that is wild.
That's the name of the game, brother. All right, if they get traded, I get traded.
Bandwagon.
Okay, I get traded. All right, I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, okay?
Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tapping into J Mike's 3-point play. This one, shout out to the Knicks for doing what it is that they did, even though y'all lost. I hate to say it. I hate to see it. I hate to hear it. But, there's always next year. Shout out to them boys, man. Baseball is cool. And it's much better to watch in person than it is in watching it on TV. And then last but not least, golf. Even though golf is a boring sport, it's much better to watch in person than it is on TV. But also, be sure to check out some hood golf. Is that what you said it was called, hood golf?
It's hood golf. Just look up hood golf.
All right, I'm going to have to check that out. Was it YouTube, Instagram?
Go to Instagram. You'll find
Okay, I'll try to find it on Instagram. Let's see what happens with that.
Man.
But anywho, we're going to get into the main course of today's episode. We got some topics for y'all. Actually, one main topic, one overarching topic. Overarching or overarching? I know it's kind of like a potato kind of situation. I've heard both.
I mostly heard overarching.
Overarching. Okay, let's just say overarching, all right? One overarching topic, and that is what we just experienced this past weekend or the week before, whatever you want to call it, because I mean it's been some days. We're not fresh off of it, but it's been some days. So shout out to the Black Effect Network for the second annual Black Effect Podcast Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. We had a blast.
Facts. Experience for
real, man. And I know we were covering our brief week, man. I know we were talking about touching on the Black Effect Podcast Festival a little later. Well, later is here. We are later in the show. We are talking about that right now. And I think that's the one thing I really want to talk about the entire episode, because it was such an experience for me, even though me personally, I liked the first annual Black Effect Podcast Festival better. I liked last year's event better than this year's. But I have a couple of reasons for why I liked it better. Mainly because that's where I met my girl. Secondly, I mean, I just think it was... it was a different experience for me overall. But I'm not going to talk too much about last year's event. Mike,
what's up?
As somebody who didn't make last year's event, man, how do you feel about this year's event?
I just felt like last year was better. It was just overall a better event. It was more fun there. Dude, honestly, this year,
who mans is this? Like, what camera am I? Who mans is this?
Yo.
Because what is wrong with this guy?
Just last year was better, honestly.
Can we listen? Can we get a serious episode?
Bruh. Let's be focused now. Okay, let's take this serious. No, in all honesty, though, I enjoyed it. It was definitely, like I said, this was my first year going. Last year I was supposed to go, just couldn't make it. But this year it was really cool to see the different people. My thing was, I love to see the community come out. I think it was amazing to just see a huge community of people wanting to do similar things, or people that have already done what you want to do, and just being under one roof and giving out so much game and just being able to network, bro. It was different, and it was amazing to be a part of it. I'll say that.
Okay, I feel you on that. Definitely seeing the community come out was crazy, and not just the community as in Atlanta. There were people at the podcast festival that were there from other states,
all over the world, bro.
I can definitely say I've met people there who flew in from New York. I met somebody who was there from Washington State. Not DC, Washington State.
Yep.
There were people who came in from Tennessee.
Texas.
Yeah, people who came in from Texas. Like, what? Like, that was just crazy to me. But hey, I mean, it was such a dope event, and it was kind of like the place to be, because if you listen to podcasts, if you have your own podcast, if you are just a supporter of podcasts, and you might want to even launch your own podcast eventually, you want to see the ins and outs and how other podcasters who are already in the spotlight do things, this is the event to go to. Yeah. And we greatly appreciate, Charlemagne, Black Effect, iHeartRadio. We appreciate all of y'all for putting this event together, because it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see some of those people that you often just watch on TV, being within arm's length. You know what I mean? I watched. I mean, of course, I didn't talk to Charlemagne. He had like security around
all
him.
around him, man. And I remember we walked past him and it was like, "Yo, Mike, you want to get a picture?"
Man,
what'd you say?
That more like, I don't even want to get nowhere near him. He like, you can't get nowhere near him. But yeah,
I mean, there were some people who got near him and, you know,
Yeah.
got caught close enough to him to take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, asked him like, hey, can we get a picture with you? Yeah.
you definitely had to be like forceful, kind of like, yo, real quick, hey, like let me say something real quick, because he was moving, like he wasn't stopping. He was definitely
Nah,
like
he wasn't.
just going around and I guess doing his rounds. But it was cool. It was cool to see some of these people. They're not as tall as y'all think they is too. They seem tall on TV, but they're not as tall as you think.
That's true. That is true.
But it was cool. I think when we first got in there, we heard T.I. talking. I don't know if I got to see him, but I do remember I heard.
No,
him.
I didn't get to see T.I. And I remember, we got there kind of late, but I heard T.I. on stage. I've met him before in person, but I've, you know, didn't get to meet him at this event, which it was what it was. It's okay. But, you know, shout out to T.I. Who else did we see there?
We saw John Hope Bryant.
Oh yeah, I've met him before too. Years ago though, it was at Chipotle at Cumberland Mall.
Man, it was.
I remember I saw him there with his wife, and I asked for a picture. He was chopping it up for a little bit, but yeah, John Hope Bryant.
I didn't get to meet him, but he actually he retweeted, not retweeted. I'm sorry. What is it called when they reposted? That's what he did.
Reposted,
he reposted
reshared.
something. Yes, reshared what I when he had got on stage. I had made a video of him and he reshared it. So I thought that was dope. Yeah, he ain't messaging me back though. He ain't do it.
Hey, it's all good, man. You know, I guess he'd be around the city sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I met him at Cumberland, so
He's an inspiration to me. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, he is. He's pretty dope to listen to.
Yes, bro.
So shout out to him. Shout out to John Hope Bryant
For real. Who else? Was that Gilly and
Wallow over there. Didn't get a chance to meet them, but you know, it was interesting seeing them on stage, seeing them in person.
Yes.
You know, because if you listen to $1 Million Worth of Game, man, they are very animated.
Mm-hmm.
They are, you know, their back and forth banter is just so natural because you know they're cousins, but you know, to hear it on their platform is one thing. To see it on Instagram is another thing. But to see it in person, completely different.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we talked about with sports. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, getting the chance to witness them on stage and, you know, just hear them, see them live and direct.
Yeah, they had one of the most like live kind of set out of everybody that came up on there. Like they had one of the most entertaining ones. You know what I mean? Like they kept the crowd engaged for pretty much just about the whole time, I would say.
And they gave away money.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to that couple who won that money. What was that, like $1,000 or two bands?
2 bands, yeah.
Shout out to that couple that won 2 bands.
Yeah, they won 2 bands.
Listen, if my girl was in town when that event went on and she came there with us, man, I would have gone up on stage and had a chance at 2 bands.
Yep. And I want to say they gave 2 bands to them, and then I want to say they gave some money to the people before. So I want to say they gave out probably like $3,000 or something like that.
Hey.
Wow, bro.
Definitely, I will say when we get to that point to where we are, you know, getting paid like that.
Come on now.
I'll definitely give back to the community. I'll definitely give back to the listeners and stuff like that. Because why not?
Of course, you got to.
You got to.
It's only right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to, you know, Gilly and Wallow. They did their thing, man. Their set on stage was very entertaining. And then, of course, like I said, the couple who won that 2 bands. Yeah. Shout out to y'all. I don't even know who y'all are, but shout out to y'all.
Nah, for real.
Horrible Decisions podcast was there. Shout out to Mandy and Wheezy. I've talked about, you know, these women on the show before, especially Mandy. I talked about her several times. Met her in person several times. Did not get a chance to talk to her at this event, though. I spoke to her at the last podcast event that I went to last month. I know I touched on it real quick in episode 79, but I talked to her briefly there, but I didn't get a chance to see her at the podcast festival. Yeah. And you, out of all people, you was like, oh, I saw your girl Mandy walking around.
Hey man, she was walking. I was giving me a drink, man. I'm sorry. Look, and she was just walking. She happened to be walking near me. So.
And then a few other people who I know that were there got to see Mandy, got to take pictures with Mandy. I didn't even get to see her.
I definitely probably could have got a picture with her.
You should have.
I should have, but you know, I was being shy. I was.
Hey, you run what is going to be a multi-million-dollar business, man. We are going to be in the spotlight. Yeah, we are already in the spotlight, but we're definitely going to be much further in the spotlight. You can't be shy.
Yeah, man. Look, hey, it's good. I just say, I was having my drink, man. That's all, you know. I was having my drink. Bruh. Now she wasn't like right next to me, but she was near another some people that had asked for a picture. I just, you know, I don't know.
Just know that pretty soon.
John Hope Bryant, I think I would have. I think for her, it wasn't somebody I'm like, man, let me get a picture. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So I didn't know as much as I needed to know about her to get one.
Just know that there's going to come a time where we're going to be getting paid to speak at these events, and you're going to be walking around working the crowd, and somebody's going to want to take pictures with you.
I'm going to say no pictures, please. Sorry, no pictures. Not today. Nah, just kidding. I won't do that.
Ain't no way you can say not today, because that's what we're there for. We're literally there to promote the show. We're literally there to put on the show. We're literally there to take pictures with the crowd.
I'm like, sorry, sir, please. I'm like, security, escort them out. Nah, just kidding. I won't be like that. I'm like, come on, let's take a picture.
I'll take pictures with y'all.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean? Like, that's me. I'll do it. I ain't shy. Nah. This man, on the other hand,
I won't be ever. I can't be Hollywood. Can't do it.
Shoot, well, I can, because after this event, I'm all about being Hollywood. You feel me? Because, yo, we done met some people.
Yeah.
That I will say is definitely being a game changer. You know, just because I've worked with these people before in the past. You know what I'm saying? Being on their live streams a couple times.
Like, I've seen a couple of y'all episodes, but what would you say is the top, like, which I would mainly be talking about on y'all show?
Mostly entrepreneur shit, you know what I'm saying? Mentor shit, just mindset, you know what I'm saying? Overall mindset. Like, my whole purpose is definitely, you know, to uplift the Black community as best as I can, because there's a lot of stuff that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? We talk about relationships too, just not on the same level as y'all, but I mean, there's a lot of that relationship talk going on. So we try to do something a little different. Just so people have more stuff to tune into, like, you know, they go to y'all for the relationship talk, they can come to us for the mindset. And, you know, we just put everything together so that we can just be overall better as a community, better as a collective. You know what I'm saying? That's the main purpose.
We definitely need that. I don't know if y'all even heard that. Somebody bumping their car mad loud. But yeah, we definitely need that on our show, man. We trying to, like, you know, diversify, like, you know, our content. Like, and I'm very much a big component on trying to help the Black community, man, because
most definitely,
I mean, we all that we got at the end of the day. I'll be honest with you, man.
Big facts. We need that.
This division that we got amongst each other, this gender war shit, bro. That shit not doing nothing but destroying us, man. Like,
grabbing the barrel mentality.
Yeah, we definitely need more channels like. Yeah, we need more channels like you to teach us about, you know, financial literacy and things of that nature, man, because that's important. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we'll definitely appreciate it, man.
And, you know, sending DMs back and forth, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. And we even talked about them in one of our previous episodes. I want to say it might have been 75 or 76. One of those episodes. I don't remember which ones, but shout out to the DailyRapUp Crew, man. Shout out to Eli. Shout out to Ace. Shout out to Jew, man. I know previously we talked about Jew in his unfortunate ordeal when you know, he was shot around New Year's. I want to say it was like New Year's Eve or something like that. We talked about it in the previous episode, and you know, we were talking about how, you know, we hope the brother gets well and stuff like that. And to actually meet him in person when we went to this event, it was like, yo, it's good to see that you know what I'm saying, you still walking, you still breathing, you know, everything's much better. You know what I'm saying? You're doing better. You're still alive. Like, that was the main thing that I was just like concerned about. And it's just good to see him up and moving, as if, like, I don't want to say as if nothing happened, but it kind of looked like, you know, you could tell like he's changed a little bit. You know, the situation kind of, like, I don't want to say shook him up, but it's changed him a little bit. But it's good to see that he was on his feet and he's alive and well. Put it that way. Yep.
And I would definitely say, I mean, to me, out of all the guys, he was the most just the one to kind of start the conversation. With just, you know, people that was outside of his group. And I think that was really cool about him. It shows just the humility that he has. And I mean, just the group in general, what they have. So it was cool to meet them. Definitely seeing them in person.
Yeah, it's one thing to see them on Instagram, you know, listen to their episodes on the audio platforms or watch them on YouTube. And then it's another thing to kind of see them in person, get to talk to them in person and chop it up with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good experience, man. And you want to know what the best part about it is, yo? Like, we was talking to them, and just out of nowhere, we just got tapped on our shoulder. It was just like, take a picture with us.
Yeah.
Take a picture with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the highlight, kid.
Yeah.
I know I can't be the only one that enjoyed that one.
Nah. I felt that one. You know what I mean? That was a little different right there.
It's a little different, bro. I'm gonna have to start charging people now to take pictures because I'm up there, yo. It's Hollywood status for real.
I mean, basically, I hope they knew who we was. You know what I mean?
They knew who he was, and if they didn't know, they know now.
I hope so.
Shout out to Residualimpact all day, every day.
Do you need an autograph? Just let me know.
Hey, yo, because we in the building for sure, man. Hey, listen. I'm going to get like you. No pictures, please. No paparazzi. No none of that, man. Hey, security handle my light work.
Really,
you know what I'm
ain't
saying?
got time for that. Like, I'm not understanding what we doing. Like,
we got a multi-million-dollar business to run. Yo, we ain't got time for no autographs. We ain't got time for no pictures.
Right. I needed to actually be escorted out of there. Honestly, it's getting a little crazy for me at one point.
Hey, listen, we got to go catch a chopper, take it to the airport, catch a flight at the Clearport. Not the airport, the Clearport.
The Clearport.
You feel me? Because
come on,
we only fly private.
Come on. Hey, they don't know we really was raised next to a private airport. They don't really know that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
And we're not going to tell them what that was because that's what we're flying out of. So, yo.
I'm just saying. Like,
don't worry about it.
That's a fact.
Mind your business.
Like, literally, we've been true to this. We ain't new to this. You know what I mean?
All day, every day, man. So shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for allowing us to grace your presence at the second annual Black Effect Podcast Festival. You feel me? And then, of course, shout out to, DailyRapUp Crew. You know what I'm saying? For chopping it up with us. Even though we are the bigger platform. Let me stop with that. I'm gonna stop the cap on that one. Yeah. Hey, DailyRapUp Crew, that was a blessing.
Hey, if y'all ever want to collab, we won't mind. Like, we'll come on y'all show.
Oh, speaking of, hey, listen,
what up?
Listen, we already know. When I was talking to Jew, and I want to say I was talking to Eli too. They said the next time I'm in New York, just give him a call. Like, I'm already invited. Ooh. I got Eli's number. You know what I'm saying? We was chopping it up. I got Eli's number, so I'm gonna call him next time I'm in New York.
Yo, freak that, bro. East Flatbush, we in the building, bro. I already went. I went to PS15 on the block, bro. Stood up, had to go get me a chopped cheese. You know what I'm saying? In the afternoon, matter of fact, in the morning I got that bacon, egg, and cheese. In the afternoon, I got me the chopped cheese. You know what I'm saying? Go get me a little cola from the bodega. You know what I'm saying? We just pull out, we hang on the block, man. So we'll see y'all when we get up there to New York, East Flatbush. We out. I should be an actor, bro. Like, there's just nothing I can't do. Like,
I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say.
You didn't even know I was on the block like that. Yo, matter of fact, hold on.
I don't even know what to say. Like, who mans is this? I don't get it. Well, like, I don't know. Like, this man changed. I think going to this podcast festival has changed him. I thought it changed me. But I've been Hollywood, just on the low. This guy, on the other hand,
baby, stop playing with me, bro. This is what we do, all right? Real talk, man. Only talk to me nice. Don't talk to me at all. All right, we hitting up New York. We gonna fly out there for a day. We gonna shoot this. We gonna shoot the episode. Y'all take me to all the spots. You know what I'm saying? Go hit me up, my man, on 55th Ave. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. I'm gonna go hit up Mace and Cam, see what they talking about. And then this is how we gonna rock it, yo. No Diddy, all right? Straight up.
Bruh. Wow.
I'm just saying, stop playing with me, man. We get money over here, right? That's all I know.
Hey.
You peep the Versace's on.
Hey.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I stay with the Versace's on. This ain't my only pair either.
Stop
this
playing
ain't my only
me.
pair of Versace shades. Don't do it.
Stop playing
Don't
with
make me do it to him. You know what I'm saying? I stay with a fresh pair of designers on me. Anywho, I say all of that to say, that was a dope experience, man. I greatly appreciate everybody that we met, because it wasn't even just, looking at the bigger platforms, the quote unquote celebrity guest or whoever the case may be. But I mean, it was like you said, the local podcast, man. That was a dope highlight. First and foremost, before we even touch into any of the local podcasts, I want to shout out my girl Sierra. Yo, Sierra designed some dope flyers for us. Yo, some dope flyers. So give it up to Sierra. Posh Talk Podcast.
Cool, done.
Because,
at the event,
we gave out so many flyers. Like, I think I want to say I paid for 100 flyers, and at the end of the event, I think we left with like 24 in hand.
Yep, if that.
We gave out so many flyers. We talked to so many different people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like I got a chance to meet Sway in person. That was pretty dope. You know, I really wanted to say how Sway, you know, because we was having a conversation, but I didn't want to be disrespectful.
Come on, Sway. How, Sway? You ain't got all the answers, Sway.
You ain't got the answers,
You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Maybe I'll save that for the second meetup. But yeah, meeting Sway was pretty dope. You know, from watching him on MTV as a kid and stuff like that, and then you know meeting him in person as a grown adult, like that was pretty cool.
He's not that tall either, though.
No, he's not that tall.
You know what I mean? I thought he was a lot taller. You know?
I did too. And of course he chopped off all the dreads, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying, you got all them locks and you know, standing up on top of his head, making him look even taller. But you know, I got to meet Sway. Shout out to Sway. Also met Benzino. Yeah. Which was crazy because in a previous episode we were talking about beef, and I ranked him as I think like he was in the top 5. His beef with Eminem. Mm-hmm. And I told him that when I met him in person. He was like, you know, hey, it's all love. I forgot what exactly he said, but I mean, I had a conversation with him, and it was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was real low key.
Yeah, very low key. You were the one who saw him before I did.
Yeah, like just, and he was like in the crowd type vibes almost, just like
moving man.
Around.
It's not like he's Hollywood or nothing like that.
Now he did. I want to say he maybe still had a security guard kind of behind him.
Security or like one of his boys. Dude was buff.
Yeah, that was a little big. You know what I mean? Like,
so you know. Don't get disrespectful around Benzino.
You know what I mean? Like, don't think it's sweet. Like, you know,
because ain't shit sweet.
Come
man.
on now.
Yeah, dude definitely would have had you in a chokehold or something like that.
Sure.
Homie, he was rolling with. Yeah, he probably would have knocked the brother out or two.
For sure.
But it was definitely cool meeting Benzino, meeting Sway, and anybody else we network with. Yeah, shout out to all the local podcasts, all the other people who flew in from different states that we got to chop it up with. Shoot, there was a couple different groups of podcasters that we met, and of course there was other. Let me see. There were people who we were trying to encourage, to start their own podcast.
Man. Oh man, yeah.
And it was crazy because I knew you was feeling somebody. And I was, you know, trying to be a dope wingman, and then next thing you know, you was telling me, "Oh, her girl feeling you." I done let her know off rip. I got a girl. I ain't trying. No, don't play with me. My girlfriend fight. Don't play with me.
Big facts. You know, I'm trying to remember that, but it, you know, it was a blur. You know, when you get approached a lot nowadays when you run my type of status, so I forget names. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? Funny thing about that is I don't remember the girl's name that you were talking to.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't either. But that's okay. I do remember some people that I've met. I met a lot of cool people, and if I did meet you, I definitely got your number somewhere in my phone. And it was actually some people that you know that want to come on a podcast and you know get their names out there, and
we definitely gonna make things happen. You know, to where y'all can come on the show and y'all can chop it up with us. But real talk. We still looking forward to coming on other people's platforms. Like everybody want to come on our show when we coming on somebody else's show.
Nah, for sure.
When's that gonna happen, y'all?
Huh,
Talk
Sway?
to me.
How, Sway?
Come
on. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
But nah, for real, like I enjoyed the event. Everything was great. Again, me personally, I think last year's event was better. But I think the best thing about this year's event versus last year for me was I had my partner with me. I had my co-host with me. We was able to rep the pod as a duo versus just as one. You know what I'm saying? Just as like one of us.
In the building, son.
So, yeah, man, we made a lot of connections, and you're going to see some changes coming for this, you know, the two of us for the show overall soon. Yeah, you know, we ain't going to waste no time. We're not going to wait. We just going to let it rock.
No, for sure. Let everybody know the growth and let them see it. Let them know what it is and what it ain't.
That's what I'm talking about. Because, listen, not only are we out here growing, but we're learning too.
Yes.
And
yes.
I will say, let me ask you this, Mike.
What up?
What's one takeaway that you got from this event? What's one thing that you can say that you've learned from attending this event this year?
Just hire some more security. It's ladies are really going to be outside, and I'm not just kidding.
But you actually have a point with that. The ladies were definitely outside.
Yeah.
And I will say it is one thing that if you are a single man, you know, you go into this event, let's say for the third annual Black Effect Podcast Festival, if they have it here in Atlanta next year, the women are out there. So, fellas, if y'all got a podcast, if you don't have a podcast, pull up.
Yeah, nah, for real. You definitely can meet a lot of good people. I'm not gonna lie to you on that one. But yeah, you said, well, like, what's one of the most important things I learned?
Yeah, like, what did you learn? What's the takeaway that you have from, you know, experiencing this event this year? Man,
honestly, the one of the biggest things I can say I learned from that event was when you go to events like that, it's something about just being in an environment of people that want something similar to you, and you never know who you may rub shoulders with that just know one piece of advice that you may know, or they just may encourage you to do something that you've been thinking about doing. So for me, it was more so just the environment, being in an environment, seeing different people, and getting to learn from different, you know, people that have had different experiences, bro. It's just like, I don't know, you can't beat that. So for me, it was that, and then Hope Bryant was the biggest inspiration because I was just locked into everything he was saying, because it was just like to see somebody, to only watch somebody on TV or Instagram, and then to see them in person, it's like, man, this is a moment that is given to you that you want to, like, you don't want to waste. So it's just like, I don't know, it's
right.
being able to lock in on somebody in person and then having them obviously notice you is pretty cool too. So I don't know, that was my biggest takeaway. Just environment is really important for you.
Okay, hey, that's pretty dope, man. One thing that I can say that I've learned coming off of this event, podcasting can change your life.
Yeah,
or it could definitely change your circumstances.
Yeah.
We would have never. Let me not say would have never, but we probably would have never been in the same room as these people if we didn't have our own show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
if
wow.
we didn't even think about podcasting.
Yeah, bro.
If we weren't in the content creator space.
Oh, that's a fact.
We probably never would have been in the same room as all of these individuals.
Yep.
And I'm talking about the well-known people and the people who weren't so well-known, but that we may see on the come up within the next few years. We would have never been in the same room as them. So that's one thing I can definitely say that I took away from being at this event. Podcasting will change your life. It'll change your circumstances. I look at different podcast events that I've attended, especially this year alone, and some of the people that I got to meet, some of the people who I got to network with, some of the people who now know who we are if they didn't know before. You know, I've talked about this in a previous episode, but when we met, when I met with a couple of the members of the Crew Season podcast, you know, one of them followed us back. You know, and I chop it up with him every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to listen to those brothers' podcasts every single week and be able to get some gems and maybe some entertaining moments from them every single week, to now being somewhat within the same circle, because something as common as podcasting, what we do for a living, has brought us together.
Yeah.
And now I can rub shoulders with them. I can learn from them. I can grow my show, grow with my co-hosts because of who it is that we are connected to. I'm connected to Crew Season, so Mike's connected to Crew Season. Same thing with DailyRapUp Crew. You know, I've been on some of their live streams before when they, you know, live streamed on YouTube, and I got to chop it up with them, you know, via video chat, stuff like that. You know, like I said, I've DM'd them before, gotten messages back and forth, especially when Jew was shot a few months ago. I was talking to Eli and checking in on Jew, making sure that Jew was okay, you know, seeing how he was doing, how he was progressing, and then actually meeting Jew in person, meeting Ace in person, meeting Eli in person, you know, meeting the DailyRapUp Crew in person and chopping it up with them and building a connection with them to the point where they said, hey, whenever I'm in New York, just hit them up. They only one call away and I can be on the show. Like, come on now.
Telling you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in these rooms with these people and we rubbing shoulders with them and we getting connected to them. Not only are we learning from them, we're growing from what it is that we learn from them. Because these are people with huge platforms.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took away from this. Not to get too preachy, but you know what I mean? Like, we here, yo. It's only a matter of time before our circumstances change around completely. and we don't have to worry about being unemployed or, going through, not just, the ebbs, but the flows or the peaks and the valleys. We're going to be able to experience the peaks way more than those valleys. We're going to experience those ups way more than we experience the downs. Our time is coming. It's definitely coming.
Preach, brother, preach, man. I know you didn't want to preach, but you was preaching anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man.
No, for real. I mean, and to just, kind of round off what he said, like he just said, it's just, you literally are just one person away from meeting somebody that can change your life or change your situation or connect you with the right person that can get you to where you want to be. So, never despise going out to events or just putting yourself out there and doing something that's a little different, because you just never know who you may meet, especially if you're in Atlanta. Boy, you literally one step away from meeting somebody. It's a melting pot, and you closer to these people than you think, and they're a lot more accessible than what you may believe. So never think that you're that far away, because you're closer than where you started.
Man, that is a word right there. So before we get into the last segment, was there anything else that you say that you could take away from this event?
Just be prepared. Be prepared. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you're prepared and you go into the building, because a lot of times, them people ask, hey, what do you do? When you had the flyers ready, it was an easy thing to be able to hand them that flyer, versus having to tell them about it. I mean, you still got to, be able to tell them who you are.
Yeah, have that conversation for sure.
But being prepared, having that flyer, a lot of times it's a quick conversation starter, or like, I don't know, it's just something about being prepared in that way. It allows you to do more. So just be prepared and expect good things. Expect things to happen. Like it is happening as long as you're putting forth the effort. It's gonna come.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because when I went to last year's event, I will tell you that I was not prepared. I didn't have flyers. I didn't have any merchandise. I just went with the intent of meeting people and just telling them what it is that I did. And I saw people there with flyers. I saw people there with merch last year. And I was like, you know what? This year's event, I cannot go unprepared. I cannot go empty-handed. And I remember seeing Sierra there at last year's event, and she was prepared. She had flyers. I don't know if she had merch on, but I know she had flyers. And I was like, listen, let me hit her up, because I want to see where she got hers done. Turns out she designed them. She made them. I'm like, listen, she's the person I need to talk to.
Look at that.
Let's get some made.
Look at that. See what I'm saying?
So me going to last year's podcast festival got me prepared to go to this year's podcast festival. And remember, before we went, I said I wanted to get merch. I said I wanted to have some shirts made for us, but I just the timing, because of my job, I wasn't able to do it. But it is what it is, because again, I could have had all the free time in the world, but probably not had enough money to even have any merch or any flyers designed for us. But I instead had the money to be able to get some stuff designed for us. Just didn't have too much time. Eventually, we're going to get to a point to where we have a balance of both. We have enough money and we have enough time to do whatever it is that we need to do. And that all comes with leverage, ladies and gentlemen. You have to learn to leverage certain things so that you can get enough time and enough money to be able to enjoy your life.
Hey, man, that's a word.
You don't want to put in so much time into your work to where you get way more money to be able to spend or do whatever it is that you need to do, but you don't have the time to do it. You want to make sure that you have both, because if you got a lot of time, chances are you probably don't have a lot of money. But if you got a lot of money, chances are you probably don't have a lot of time. Let's get both. Let's focus on getting both, time and your money.
Talk that talk.
Let's leverage.
Talk that talk, Chuck.
So last but not least, man, what we getting into today?
Last, we're going to tap into the tapped in segment. I ain't even try to do that. It just kind of came out naturally. So like, it just works out. I guess that's like the perfect name for the segment right there. Tap in. Here on this segment, we're going to discuss books, documentaries, and different podcasts that we tune into that we might recommend to y'all, because y'all might like it. You never know. So I guess y'all could kind of tell us in the comment section if you watch any podcasts or documentaries or any books that y'all like, that y'all want
other than ours, because we already know that y'all tapped into us.
You know what I mean? Leave a review.
You can comment on our show. Definitely leave a review.
You know what I mean?
Tell us about some other things you've been tapped into lately.
For sure.
So Mike, what you been tapped into lately, man?
Well, I have been to the library, so I have been tapped into. Right now, I'm reading a book by Oprah. Believe it or not, it's a book called like Soulful Sundays, and basically she's just giving off her experiences of some of the people that she had on her show over the years and different things that they taught her and whatnot. So I'm still learning some stuff, so I can't really give you everything that I've learned as of right now. But for right now, I am reading that book, and it's a pretty good book, teaching me some wisdom. I like self-help books, so it's giving me something back as I read it.
I love self-help books, man.
Man, them the best to me.
For real. There's a bunch that I haven't even cracked open yet, but that's gonna change. That's coming.
What you got going on? What you like?
What as far as books or what I've been tapped into lately?
What you tapped into to stay on segment?
I've been watching a documentary series on Netflix called Unlocked, a Jailed Experiment. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard anything about that, but
I'm kicked off Netflix. Tragic.
I know I don't want to keep bringing that up, man, because I know you talked about this story on here before, and it's kind of like a sad story, so I don't want to keep rubbing at a sore spot, but definitely I like watching documentaries, man. Love watching documentaries, especially with my girl. So it was crazy when we first met. I was like, I love watching documentaries. Oh, me too. So we connected on that for sure. So we were tapped into this show, Unlocked, a Jail Experiment. And it's essentially, I forgot where exactly it takes place, but it's in a jail. Mm-hmm. The sheriff who runs that jail came up with the idea of allowing the inmates of a particular cell block the opportunity to have some sort of freedom within the block. So what they normally were used to in this cell block was what they called, I think, a 23-1, where they were locked down in their cells for 23 hours of the day and only got to spend 1 hour per day out of their cells. Wow. Which was tough. Like, I mean, I get it. Jail is not supposed to be no light, fun, enjoyable place. It's not supposed to be that. But when it comes to a lot of the inmates that are in there, some inmates are in there for like violent crimes. Some inmates are in there for like misdemeanors or something like maybe like a smaller felony that might carry a lighter sentence, but they're just waiting on trial. So they didn't have any money to bond out or bail out. So they're in jail waiting for their trial, for their court date. They might be in there for something small, but they're in there with like killers and rapists and stuff like that. But anywho, the sheriff who was running this facility wanted to test this out and said that he was going to have, instead of 23-1, he was going to leave the inmates to essentially be out of their cells all day, every day for a month. He wanted to run this for a month. And he said that he was going to have the deputies step out of the cell block. So it was going to be up to the prisoners that were in that cell block to run the cell block themselves. But the only thing was that they could not have any contraband. They could not have any weapons. Like some people make some makeshift shanks or something like that. Mm-hmm. They could not be in there making hooch, which is like, a jailhouse liquor or jailhouse alcohol that they make from fermenting certain products together so that they can get drunk off of. Certain things like that. Like y'all can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to make sure that y'all are on your quote unquote best behavior type stuff. And his reason behind doing that was because he notices that a lot of prisons in other countries, they allow their prisoners that freedom. And their prisons or their jails are more about rehabilitation, whereas the prisons or the jails in the United States are not so much about rehabilitation. They're about just locking people up. And whenever somebody's sentence is over with, they're thrown back out in the streets. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up back behind bars from doing the same thing all over again because they didn't learn the first time around.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So that was the main thing regarding this experiment. And it's an entertaining watch, but at the same time, it's like, yo, you're right. Like, I've seen prison documentaries based on other countries, and the way that some of those people over there live compared to the way some of the people in the United States who are locked up live, it's night and day.
Oh
man.
yeah, I've seen some of the differences. It's not gonna say it's luxurious, but sometimes it's just more humane.
Exactly. That is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
It is more humane. And again, not everybody who's locked up is there for some violent crime. You know what I'm saying? They might be there for something kind of small, but they couldn't afford to bail out. You know, so they have to just sit behind bars and await their court date, and they never know where something else, you know, where their situation's gonna go. But yeah, man, it's definitely more humane to, like, when you look at some of these other detention facilities and, you know, around the world compared to the United States.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what we own. I don't know what's the goal, I guess, for. Because to me, it seemed like those other jails that they have a goal for the people to come back better and, you know, actually be productive in society versus us. It's just like, I don't know.
Over here, it's about big business, man.
It definitely is.
We're a capitalistic country. And when it comes to prisons, you know, private prisons are a thing.
Yeah.
You know, people make a lot of money off of private prisons.
Bukus.
So yeah, that's what it's about over here. It's not so much about rehabilitation. It's all about, you know, just getting that money.
So I guess that's why they don't care to make sure that they're good, because regardless of the matter, they'll be back and they're gonna get them more money.
That's the goal right there. And I'm not gonna say that's the case for all prisons, because I don't know that for sure. But I'm assuming it's gonna be the case for a majority of the prisons that are in this country. But yeah, it's not about rehabilitation. They want to just, you know, inhumanely house these inmates, and then if they get out, if they get paroled, or if their sentence is up, they get out and they don't all become productive members of society, they're going to end right back up behind bars because they was doing what they was doing the first time around, or they might do something worse. Or you already know, like, you most likely can't get a job because you have this on your record, so you can't really get legitimate money. So what you going to resort to?
I mean, you already know. We ain't even got to say it.
Exactly. So you just most likely going to end up behind bars again and make these prisons even more money. So I would say that this is a good watch. Again, it's called Unlocked, a Jail Experiment. It's on Netflix. And yeah, man, definitely if you're into stuff like that, you know, check it out.
Make sure you got the Netflix password first. You're going to need that. You're going to need that.
Yeah, for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode. Again, we thank you so much for tapping in. It's been a great one. And again, we're trying something different. Hopefully we'll be able to get episodes out to you quicker in a timely manner. And we're going to make sure that there's not so much delay, because sometimes I have to skip a week because it takes me so long to edit between work, between, you know, going to be a boyfriend, you know what I'm saying?
That's
and getting
job.
to spend time. That is a job.
That's a job.
As somebody who was once a husband, you know.
That's a job. Yep. Takes work, brother.
It takes a lot of work. I can't just do my job. I can't just do focus on the podcast, and I can't fulfill my job and my duties as a boyfriend and neglect my girl, because I ain't gonna have a girl.
Yep. At least you know. As long as you know. As long as you know.
So yeah, man. Hopefully this new way that we're trying out, you know, it works. And you guys just let us know. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know if this is something that works for you. I mean, those of y'all who are listening to the audio, you're not going to know too much of a difference. But for those of y'all who are watching us on the video, y'all going to notice a difference for sure. So let us know. Comment down below, because we appreciate when y'all comment and we can have this conversation. Anything else you got to say about this episode, brother?
Oh, man. I pretty much think we hit this one on the head for the most part, man. So y'all already know. Until the next time, you know what I mean? Shout out to... I'm not going to give no shout out to nobody, actually. I was going to give a shout out to somebody, but I changed my mind.
Okay. Hey, yeah, we're allowed to change our minds.
We could do that.
We can do that.
We could do that.
Especially since we Hollywood now. You know what I'm saying?
You see the shade laying off. You know what I mean?
The shades. Hey, listen.
I can barely see. But that's okay. What I need to see for?
What I need to see for?
I'm
you know
him.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm him. So I already see. Let me stop.
I ain't gonna stop. because I can't stop. All right, I am him before him, but I am him.
Technically, he was him before me, so
that is true. I was him before you.
That's a fact. I can't even deny that one.
Exactly. But we cannot leave without saying
where you are today
is a residual outcome
of the thoughts you had in the past.
Just like that.
Till the next time.
Peace.